Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sean Simons. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to join you all wherever you are sitting today. I'm actually going to be up in Boston this weekend. So I just wanted to say a couple quick words about my Day in the Life project for Sodexo. Just very quickly going to go through some of the key points of my presentation, starting with my routine. I'm actually currently interning for the president of the University of Mary Washington, which is kind of a little bit outside my realm of comfort in politics, but it's been really interesting. I've been able to learn a lot about education policy and a lot of things that impact higher education schools in Virginia. So I do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I decided to share with you just kind of what I do on Wednesday. You can click forward to the My Routine slide here where you just kind of see I'm not the most biggest morning person ever, so it takes me a little while to get up. I need my Elton John music to get going normally, and then sort of normally get to work by about 8 o'clock. I try to get in, and normally the day begins with 800 billion emails and trying to scoff down a bagel before the president gets into office, normally around 9 o'clock or so. And the day just kind of keeps rolling from there. I'm also involved in student government on campus, so I have those meetings on Wednesday afternoon. And then I also get dragged into a lot of other things because I'm the chairman of the Legislative Action Committee, so I have to attend a lot of the community relations town halls and things like that that are going on. So I'm dragged into that around normally 6 o'clock. There's some kind of meeting to deal with that. And then I'm also in the University of Mary Washington College Democrats, so I do some work with that organization. We have our meetings on Wednesdays at night. And then sometimes on Wednesdays we have our Sodexo conference call that I have to take at 10 o'clock. So a lot of times I don't have the time to get back to the dorm, so I kind of duck into any room I can find on campus that has reasonably okay Wi-Fi and do our WebEx conference calls. And then I come home and do some homework and lights out around 2 a.m. and then I wake up the next morning and do it all over again. So kind of a lot of fun, right? I'm sure you guys all want to do that schedule. So what makes an exceptional day? You can click forward to the next slide here. I think every day there's a lot of opportunities to do a lot of good work, and you're either going to go ahead and make the most of it or you're not. So I think that any day where I'm doing as much as I can to help others and be really involved in what's going on my campus, it is a good thing, and I try to make sure that every day is just packed to the gills, as you can see by my schedule, of just things that I think are going to help others, and hopefully in hindsight will help my own career in politics as well. Going on to free time with the next slide. Free time, I really don't have a whole lot of it, but I do make sure to make time for my friends, my family, and of course my girlfriend. I think that that is really important, that you always go ahead and make time for those three things. And I always make sure that no matter how busy I am, I get lunch every day with my girlfriend, and things are really good with that. So I always try to budget in appropriate amounts of time for that and for those people. So moving a little bit further along now to different products and services that I think that we need at Mary Washington. Very controversial here, but I think that we need some more things to do with alcohol. And I say that not as somebody who drinks, because I really don't that much, despite being 21. I really see that as something where Sodexo can make a profit. Students in college tend to drink a lot, and they're not doing it in Sodexo dining establishments on campus. They're going off campus, normally, right down the street from their dorm. There's some kind of bar or something that they're going to. I don't understand why they couldn't do it in a safe and secure environment on campus where you create some kind of area that's really environmentally friendly for students where they just want to go there, have some TVs, like a sports bar setting, something like that. Um, and instead, they're not going to be going in intoxicated to the community, which, as I said earlier, I deal with the community a lot through my political stuff on campus. I think that that's something that they would greatly appreciate, and then a lot of administrators could probably get behind on campuses. Another thing in product or service that I think could be used, especially on my campus, are quality meals to go. Now, this isn't just meals to go, but it's really quality meals to go that students are going to want. Things like crab cakes, gourmet pasta, chicken dishes. These are all the things that I really enjoy that I oftentimes go to Wegmans. In fact, I can't even tell you how much money I spend at Wegmans. It's kind of embarrassing. Um, but I really think that these quality meals to go that people could pick up and take back to their rooms would be very, very successful, especially on a campus like mine. And any campus where people are really busy and things are just moving so fast that you oftentimes don't have time to spend 20 minutes cooking a dinner. I think that that could go a long way. Moving on to the next slide with project reflections, I think that there's a lot of things that we can do to improve this assignment and a lot of things that can be built off of for next time. The first thing that I really enjoyed about this project is I think it's a good way to get to know each other. I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to watch all of your presentations in some kind of PDF file or PowerPoint file when I get back from Boston. But I think it's a great way to get to know everyone, to see what a typical day is like. There's an old adage, you never know where someone's been until you've walked a day in their shoes. Well, how cool is this that we all get to share with one another what we're doing, what services and products we're using? I think that's really something important. And I think it could be even better if we did it in the fall semester when we're all getting to know each other still, where we don't know where anyone's from. That would be a really cool thing to do, that we could start off the year by sharing in our fall conference instead. I also think it would be really important if we shared these things in person with one another as opposed to online. Sometimes it's a little difficult to pay attention for something that's 2 or 3 hours straight on a Friday night or Saturday morning. So I think if we could give these presentations in person at the fall conference, it would be definitely beneficial. So lastly here, Dan, if you wouldn't mind clicking over to the last part of my presentation, which deals with the new product or service that we want to have. And I decided to create something going off of the adult beverage industry that I was talking about earlier, this place called the Home Team Grill, which could be a dining service on every campus that serves your traditional, hamburgers, chicken tenders, wraps, salads, wings, but it also serves alcohol in an environment that is aesthetically pleasing for students and also prevents them from, leaving campus to go to a Buffalo Wild Wings or to any one of these sports bars that they might go to, which I think is a very common thing for students. Instead, they could go here on campus and do it in a safe environment. So I designed this concept of home team grill. I think it's important to understand that this isn't going to fit in at every university. I see this fitting in very well at like an Ohio State University, one of Sodexo's largest accounts, where there's a lot of partying that goes on there, a lot of drinking that goes on there. I think that this might make sense at a location like that. It's not going to work out at a small Catholic college, in DC. It's just not going to be that kind of setting. So it's not meant for everywhere, but I think it would succeed very well in some select places. Again, I think that this is a growing industry that's waiting to be tapped into, and if done correctly, I think it could be very popular across the campuses and could be something that a lot of students would enjoy and a lot of administrators could support, because again, they're not going off campus into the neighborhoods to drink. They're doing it in an environment that's very friendly for this kind of thing. Moving on to the slide I have about promotions, I think there's a lot of great things that you could do with a home team grill concept like this. You could do game day events, Sunday football, Monday night football, Sunday night baseball, all those kind of sporting events. Game of the week for NCAA basketball. Students could come in and watch their Division I sports teams play on the road when they're not on campus. You can have pre and post game parties in a location like this, pep rallies for sporting events that are happening on campus, and you can even do things like naming the foods after the school mascot. I took Ohio State and said the cheeseburger could be named the Buckeye, something like that. And then it could also offer late night specials, again keeping students on campus when they would traditionally go looking elsewhere for food. Lastly, breaking into some pros and cons, I think the pros are obviously it would provide students with a different kind of dining experience. I would make them think of college. This is what I think of as a sports bar with a bunch of students gathered around watching their teams play, having a good time. That really reads college to me, and I think a lot of students would feel that way. Of course, you keep them on campus eating and happy, which is good. Prevent them from going into the communities, and I think it would also increase a sense of school spirit on the campus as well. Some cons are obviously, would this work without selling adult beverages? I'm not really sure. It might not be a perfect venue for every school, of course. Some campus administrators would naturally be opposed because this goes against some social norms that some schools value very dearly. There's liability sometimes with obtaining a liquor license, and there's also a cost associated with it as well. Well, that's all I really have in terms of my presentation, but again, I'm sorry I couldn't join everyone. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me. I have my phone on me this weekend. I don't know how much I'll be able to pick it up, but I'll definitely try to get back to you guys. Or if you ever want to drop me an email about anything, I'd be happy to talk about these concepts further. I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations, and thank you all so much for your time.